everybody. I know it might be a small group today. Um, it is the 4th of July week, and we are gearing up. Most people are on vacation this week. So if you're watching this live, make sure you comment hashtag live. If you're watching it the replay, please comment hashtag replay. We'll give it a few minutes, see if we got some more people coming in. Trinity, I see you here. I appreciate you joining. We're gonna give it a few minutes, let people come in. Super excited for this event today. Got some really cool stuff for all of you. We're going to be going deep into exactly the strategies that I've used to grow my business to the high six figures, the strategies that I use to help my clients scale their businesses and set you up to double your clients in the next 90 days without needing ads or um, even to really have a website and all the different systems that you can use to grow your business. Gonna give it another few minutes, get some people trickling in here. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you are all able to take the time to invest in yourself, invest in growing your business. Because as entrepreneurs, I know we don't have a lot of time, and so that's kind of part of my goal here today is to help with some of that by going through some of these different strategies, some of the stuff that we're gonna tackle today. Um, Hopefully gear you up to gain a little location freedom, little time freedom, little financial freedom. So I'm grateful. Tony, welcome. Glad you're here. Hello, Tony. Welcome. We might have a small group today, which is totally cool. I think the 4th of July might be, there's people going, but hey, nothing better than to gear up. We'll probably give it another couple minutes. Welcome everybody. What time is it? Where's my sticky note? Another couple minutes, probably till like five after. I don't want to waste anybody's time. I know that you guys are all here deciding to invest in yourselves, invest in growing your business, and there's nothing more important than that right now. So I appreciate you all joining me today on this lovely Tuesday afternoon, evening, where I am anyway. It is afternoon, evening. I don't know, might be a little different from someone else here. So I appreciate you all joining. We'll give it a couple minutes, probably start a little bit. But I know when I do start these things, I try to live my life in a way of gratitude today because for me, it's all about having that attitude of gratitude because the more that I have gratitude, the more things appear for me to be grateful for. And so I do always like to kind of kick things off with things that we're grateful for. I know we have a few of us here. There's probably some people watching. If you're watching live, comment hashtag live, hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. But I always like to kick it off with some gratitude, kind of set the tone because it's how I like to live my life today. And so what I am grateful for today is I am grateful to be joined by small, powerful group of people today deciding to invest in themselves to grow their business. Iron sharpens iron, and that's what I'm super grateful for. I put a lot of work into this. I've got some super excited to share with you all. So that is what I'm grateful for today. Um, if anybody feels like they would like to share one thing that they're grateful for, I would love to hear anything that you are all grateful for. Uh, Go ahead and
Super
Unmute.
grateful for you, Graham. I'm grateful for you and all the content that you post, and it has helped me grow my business online. So I'm excited for this. Thank you for taking the
Awesome.
time to be here with us today.
Appreciate you, Trinity. Thank you so much. Anybody else care to share something that they're grateful for? Tony, Nikki, anybody?
I'm just grateful for freedom to be able to do this.
Yes, indeed. That is the goal, to be able to take the time to have that freedom to do that. And hopefully this will help gear up some more strategies to give you some more of that freedom. So, well, it is now 5 past. Everybody, we're gonna jump right in because I don't want to waste any more of your time. I'm going to share my screen here. Can you all see my screen? Where's my chat thing here? Okay, awesome. Yes, perfect. Wonderful. So I would like to welcome you all to the Client Doubling Roadmap. This is going to be how to double your clients in the next 90 days using social media videos without a website or spending money on ads. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right in. We've set up the tone with gratitude today. And so the big 3 things that we're going to go over today are ultimately how to turn strangers into clients, how to actually get started, and then how to scale this all up. And then I also have a bonus for you, which is going to be how to avoid the number 1 pitfall in this whole process. So make sure you stick around for the bonus. So, who I am, little introduction. My name is Graham Duval, and I'm going to be your mentor today, your instructor. I ultimately created this live training because I see too many business owners. They're not seeing the growth that they want with their revenue. They tend to feel uncertain about their ability to attract new clients and feel unheard, especially in this world of social media marketing. So also, that they feel like they're the best kept secret. So I'm going to be guiding you through this whole process today. These are some of the things that some other business owners have said about working with us here at Valued Productions, and some of the trainings that we provide, the content that we provide. They're super grateful and have had a lot of great feedback. So something that I'd like to propose for you is that when people pay, they pay attention. I know that this training is a free training that I'm happy to share with all of you, but I would like for you to keep that in mind. Grab some paper. You guys are paying in your time, that you're taking the time to invest in yourselves. So grab some paper, take some notes. I'm going to be going through a lot of stuff, that everything that I do with my clients that pay me to work with them, I'm going to be sharing with you all. So make sure to write things down, take screenshots if you need to, type any questions in the chat. We'll happy to answer. So a little bit of background of me. I've been crafting videos since high school, basically since iMovie was released. I mean, I was doing family videos before that with the old VHS tapes, but ultimately, since iMovie, which ultimately sparked a lifelong interest in visual storytelling, where I earned awards in school for video projects that I did. And then after high school, I went to college for film studies, where I ultimately transitioned into producing high quality, high production videos for bands and music videos and in the music industry, and helping different bands grow and get more gigs, book more shows, sell more albums. We helped them get nominated for different things like the New England Music Awards and other awards organizations. And uh, this experience was very enriching creatively. It kind of led me down the side of the music industry that was ultimately littered with different substances, which I did let take hold of me. And due to a series of eye-opening experiences, I realized that this life would not be sustainable life. And I realized I needed something that was more sustainable. So I started and turned towards sobriety. I got sober. I started living a life full of gratitude, ultimately surviving against all odds. And like I said, I live in a life full of gratitude today with that renewed zest for life. And I started taking those skills of videos to create high quality, high production videos for local businesses, specifically mostly with like an emphasis on community and recovery and programs like that, kind of like one-off projects and things. And yeah, this was helping bring people in the door and connect with more customers. It was also really rewarding and everything, but I was facing that feast or famine cycle where it was a lot of these one-off projects, and like I'd get a client, then I'd work it, and then I wouldn't have a client, and then there was a lot of ups and downs, and I wasn't quite sure always predictably where my next client was coming from. And so I recognized a similar unsustainability that I had noticed back in my life before. So similarly with this path, I realized that there needed to be a strategic shift, and I acknowledged that there needed to be a change in my business approach. So who here has also felt that their business was not as sustainable or predictable as they would like to see? Go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat if this relates to you. You're on a path, ups and downs. You don't know where your next client's coming from. Let me know if you can relate with this. So I would like to, awesome, got some 1s in the chat. Awesome. And if you're watching this live or the replay as well, if streaming in the group, leave your comments as well. Do you relate with the unsustainability and not knowing where your clients are necessarily coming from, or predictability? With that, I'd like to have you ask yourself some of these questions. Do I need a better understanding of how to market on Facebook, Instagram, and other social media platforms? Should I be creating more engaging, more educational content, whether it's reels or posts? Excuse me. Maybe you're struggling with motivation to get you going in the right direction when it comes to marketing. Or how do I actually create content that converts? Ask yourself, how do I find where my paying clients are? I don't necessarily know how to generate content that's going to excite people about wanting to work with me. How do I actually get more sales and capture a larger audience? How do I brand myself to be better relay my business's message and ultimately attract more ideal clients? So the roadmap for this is initially our traditional client acquisition methods like networking, cold outreach, they were falling short. It led to that stagnant growth where you can't predict and rely on that. So everything changed when I started implementing this client doubling roadmap, where this new approach was a game changer. Ultimately propelling my business to the multi-6 figures within a year and significantly boosting our clients' growth as well. So this client doubling roadmap, we're extremely passionate and have advocates of this path. I've witnessed the incredible results firsthand. Yet our commitment to transparency stands, and we openly share everything, all the strategies that have propelled us to our current situation, so that you can go through it with similar results without making the same mistakes that I made along the way. So we understand that sometimes it's just that one crucial insight that can be key. And that's why we're going to be taking an in-depth look at all the different strategies, where my goal is to equip you watching with the tools that could be that turning point in your business's journey, whether you're a beginner at social media or you're already kind of a seasoned online marketer. Let me know in the chat if that would be helpful for you for me to share all that. Drop a 1 in the chat if you'd like me to share all that. Let me know. All those watching live, replay, 1 in the chat. Let's get some engagement. I appreciate you. And so this is really when the Strangers to Client roadmap was born. In doing this, we scaled at a much faster rate. The process of acquiring clients was much smoother. We gained more financial, location, time, freedom. Clients were getting an obvious results, clear ROI. Referrals skyrocketed. We did top out our best month to date and delivered guaranteed results. And the best part is we weren't alone. So some things that our clients, Trinity, I appreciate you, have said about working with us. The end result was exactly what they were looking for. More business. Love it when people come in because they've seen our content. So who exactly is this for? This is for coaches, consultants, online business owners who want a better return on investment, really, than the stock market. Definitive blueprint that enables true freedom in your entrepreneurial journey. You're eager to elevate maybe a side hustle to a thriving main business. There's dreams of achieving consistent 5-figure months. You have a winning mindset and people who want to learn from experiences to avoid common pitfalls from someone who's already experienced this prior. So who this is not for? It's not necessarily going to be for beginners. It's okay to be a beginner on social media, but in your business, trade, or skill, or your offer, you got to have a product or service that costs over $500. So someone who's a little bit more established, this is going to be extremely helpful for. This is not for someone who's resistant to adopting new knowledge or following guidance, or someone who's indifferent about achieving freedom in location, finances, or time. This is not for someone who's not interested in increasing their income or financial gains, and definitely not for someone who wants to maintain that mindset with focus on limitations rather than possibilities. So why is it important to turn strangers into clients? Well, if you don't learn this process, then your revenue will plateau. You'll lose interest in clients to your competition, where you'll be spinning your wheels wondering what is wrong with your business. If you don't learn how to turn strangers into clients, you're going to wonder if entrepreneurship, is it even the right path for you? You're going to ask yourself if you're even any good at what you do. If you don't learn to turn strangers into clients, your family might tell you you need to do something more consistent, like actually get a job. Ugh. You might have to go back to that 9-to-5 that doesn't appreciate you. So are you ready to take action and learn about the Strangers to Client roadmap? Are you all ready? Are you ready? Yes. Hashtag live, hashtag replay. Are you ready to take some action and learn about the Strangers to Client roadmap? So the things that we're going to go over again today are how to turn strangers into clients, how to get started, how to scale, and avoid the #1 pitfall. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is actually how to turn strangers into clients. And it starts with what I like to call the value chain. So this is the value chain. This is ultimately how businesses turn strangers into clients. We've just kind of adapted it to social media through and how we use it with videos. So drop a comment in the chat if you currently have an offer. Like, who is your ideal client and what do you do for them? I'd love to hear who we got. And if you're watching live or you're watching the replay on this, comment what it is that you do and how do you help your clients? What do you have for an offer? Because ultimately the value chain starts with the offer. It starts at the top. Who's your ideal client? Maybe there's someone in this group that has a connection. It's a great referrals, people connecting. But the thing is when I first started, I was doing one-offs. Like I mentioned, I would do a project here, I would fulfill on it. Then I'd have to go look for another client and then I would fulfill on that. And I didn't always know where these clients were coming from. So it was extremely inconsistent. It was unpredictable. There wasn't much repeat business. It didn't really have much of an opportunity for any upsells or anything like that. So drop a 1 in the chat if you can relate with this, where you maybe started as a side hustle where like you have this one thing, or like you're not quite sure, where got a couple people mentioning, okay, I totally get it. So your offer is not your services, but rather the transformation and the result that you help your clients with. So it's super important for me to realize this, that me selling just videos was not my offer, but rather what I can do to help transform my clients. And so that's what your offer is. And it ultimately, your offer is going to work as like a giant digital online neon sign saying, hey, I'm open for business. And so making sure that it's super attention grabbing and that it acts and showcases the transformation that you can make with your business and how you help them is going to be key. So the reason why is the guiding light is think of it as like a famous basketball coach. His offer that he puts out there is guaranteed to dunk a basketball in 4 weeks. That is a transformation. That's attention grabbing. That's going to get people lined up out the door. And they're going to be like, okay, I want to dunk a basketball in 4 weeks, but it's key to know who you're talking to in this whole process, because the first person may be 6'5", prior college athlete. He hasn't worked out in a few years. He sees this and he's like, I've always wanted to dunk a basketball. He goes in and talks to the coach, and the coach looks at him. He's like, okay, I could bring this guy through my 4-week program, do some conditioning, get an inch lift on his jump, and get him to dunk a basketball. So he takes him in, gets him to dunk a basketball. The second person in line is my great uncle's had 2 knee replacements, smokes a pack a day. He's 5'6". He sees the same thing. It's attention grabbing. He's like, I want to dunk a basketball. And so he goes to the coach, and the coach is like, okay, well, we probably couldn't get you to actually dunk a basketball, but I promise you that if we run you through our 4-week program, you'll be in the best shape of your life, and we'll definitely have you on the court playing some basketball. So it's important to keep in mind who you're talking to and the transformation that you provide with your offer, because it really is the guiding light through this whole process. Like you see here, it is a big, bright yellow ball, and it guides the whole rest of this process of turning strangers into clients. So drop a 1 in the chat if you feel like your business, you need more awareness. Maybe that's the thing. You have your offer, you need more awareness to it. You need to tell more people about this transformation that you already have. Drop a 1 in the chat if you need more awareness for your business. So when I first started, I was doing like a lot of one-off conversations, trying to give tips here, trying to give tips there, tips and value. It was a lot of time, extremely draining. It wasn't always scalable. I was talking with not necessarily the most qualified people. It was extremely unpredictable because I'd have a conversation here, a conversation there. You can't really repeat business that way. You can't upsell someone when you're doing these like little one-off conversations with people, one-to-ones all the time with people here and there. Who here has experienced something similar where you're talking to unqualified people and you think it's going to be something, but it's not? Drop a 1 in the chat if you've experienced something similar to this. Even those, if you're watching the replay, leave your comments. I'm going to go through and check these all and respond to everybody. So leave a comment if you can relate to this. So ultimately, the best way to build awareness with strangers is not by talking one-to-one and giving away free tips all the time, but instead it's about talking one to many and then ultimately highlighting the pain points that your audience is experiencing. So if you can do that, that's going to be how we gain all this attention. And we do that through short form content. It gives you the ability to speak one to many and get in front of a lot more people. The way that the algorithm works is it shows it to strangers. And by consistently posting on social media across all the major platforms, that's going to give you, and then talking on their pain points and highlighting their pain points. Now they're coming to your profiles for that value on how they can overcome this transformation. And you're going to help them get there with little bit of actionable items. So that's the awareness. We have your offer. We drive more attention by posting consistent videos, 15 to 30 seconds across all the major social platforms, highlighting their pain points. That's going to start to build trust. Drop a 1 in the chat if you feel like you need more leads for your business. Maybe you've got a bunch of awareness. People know who you are. You've got some attention, but you need more leads. You need more people that are actually interested in what you have to offer. You've got, everybody knows who you are, but what do you have any more leads? Drop a 1 in the chat if you do. Hashtag live, hashtag replayed. Let me know if you're watching. So when I first started, leads came from really wherever. They came from friends and family. They came from networking. They came from word of mouth. But unfortunately, again, this is extremely unpredictable. It's not, the people aren't always qualified. It's not scalable, and it's extremely time consuming. Having to drive to all these different coffee meetings all the time, or, that when you go to your friends and family with your tail between your legs and be like, do you know anybody with business? Like that, it's great in the beginning. Yeah. But like that can get a little much over time. And so drop a 1 if you've ever asked your friends and family for referrals to get more leads. I know you out there watching. Anybody here ask friends and family for referrals? Yeah. Got a few here. Awesome. So what I learned is the best way to get leads is not by giving free tips, by instead acknowledging your audience's pain and asking them who wants more help and assistance. So in those social media videos that you're posting, by giving them actionable items with a strong call to action, such as, follow us for extreme results, or DM me the word. What it's doing is it's telling those people who are aware that they want your help, because now they're actually taking that action step of DMing you or commenting, instead of just like posting videos and it just giving you a bunch of awareness. So what that's going to do is it's going to start to build trust. Even commenting, they're going to start to essentially raise their digital hand, being like, hey, I want some assistance with this. I want to learn more. And that's going to be how we actually generate leads. They're raising that digital hand Now someone who's commented on one of your videos, it's a lead. You now have a way for you to reach out to them. You have a way to send a DM and start up a conversation that is already strategically warmed up because you help them overcome some sort of pain to help lead them to that transformation. So see how the chain always works to build on each other. That's why we call it the value chain. It all compounds to work on each other. So maybe you have a bunch of leads, you've got a bunch of awareness. Drop a 1 in the chat if you feel like your leads aren't converting. Maybe you have bad leads. Is it because you have a ton of leads, but they're just bad? I know that when I started, like, it was, I needed to talk to better leads. These are all bad leads. Anybody can relate with that? So like I said, when I first started, I thought that if I got a lead or a referral or something, they're just automatically going to become a client. That's not the way it works. There's a lack of trust. It's unsustainable. And if you're getting unqualified people, yeah, they're not going to just become a client. They've got to build that trust with you. They've seen all your stuff. They've seen all your videos. Maybe they've commented, but just because now, that doesn't mean that they're ultimately going to become a client. So drop a 1 if you've ever gotten on a call with someone who wasn't qualified to work with you and it just felt like it was a waste of time. Yeah, I know that I've gotten on tons of calls and it was just a complete waste of time. I was like, how did I get set up on this call? It just isn't working. So what we've learned is that these leads that never buy are the ones that are never nurtured. We have to nurture the leads. The way that we nurture these leads is we nurture them with longer form content. They've built up a bunch of trust by seeing you post consistently across all the platforms. They see you everywhere, showing up to strangers. They comment, they send a DM, you start a conversation. But what we found is, in order for them to, especially in today's world where we live in a trust recession and there's so much information out there, the way that we nurture the leads is because they've seen a bunch of your short form. They're willing to give you more of their time. They're willing to invest some time and watch a 5-minute video, a 90-minute training, something like that. And that's how you can start to nurture your leads from having them see your short form content. So you ultimately have your offer, you drive attention with a bunch of short form content that we post daily. That's going to get people with a call to action to have a DM or a comment to generate a lead. And then with the lead, we send them a longer form piece of training that's going to solve that first initial problem that they have that's preventing them from working with you. So you find out what your ideal client's first initial thing that you can help them with to drive a quick win right in the beginning. Solve that for them, 5-minute video. And then that's going to get them into that sales conversation. This is when you now get them into the sales conversation. Ultimately, they've become qualified at that point because they've seen a bunch of your longer form stuff. And then you fulfill on your offer. This is where your guys' time to shine is now. You fulfill on your promise. Like I said, this is for someone who already kind of has an offer, so you know that it works. And your time to shine, you fulfill on that offer, you fulfill on that promise. And then ultimately, after that, there's the opportunity to get a testimonial or an upsell or a referral, something like that. But ultimately, what we would then help with is making sure that you all ask for a testimonial video, even if it's them Here, I literally just got a text right now from someone sending me a testimonial video where all they did was take out their phone like this and be like, hey, we had an awesome time working with Graham, or we had an awesome time working with Tony. She helped us with X, Y, and Z. 2 minutes long, get that testimonial video, and then now you can reinsert that back into the front end of the awareness content. That's going to drive more attention. People are going to get more interested, which is going to generate more leads. Then you nurture those leads with some longer form content. And then now you have this system based on the value chain and with content and social media that can help you turn strangers into clients and ultimately raving fans to help you grow your business. Then eventually, after you've done all this stuff yourself, where you're posting content daily, you're engaging with your leads, you're sending them long form trainings, ultimately after, you can start to automate this whole process. And that's a whole nother training though. But I do want you to be aware that once you develop this, it is a system. It's a content system that you can eventually automate. So that was our first point today, is actually how to turn strangers into clients using the value chain. This is the ultimate tool that you can use to level up your business using content and using social media. I hope everybody's still with me. We're going into number 2 of the big 3, and this is going to be actually how to get started. So how we actually get started with this whole process. And ultimately, that whole process is you have your offer already. You've dialed in your offer. We need to drive that awareness. We need to create content. So when I first started, I just was creating videos that I thought I wanted to make because I thought they would perform well, but unfortunately, they weren't helping me get clients. I was just posting videos to just post videos. It wasn't helping me actually do this whole process. I was just, oh, they said we needed to do stuff on social media, so I did stuff on social media. Who here has made videos but didn't get any clients from it? Drop a 1 in the chat if you can relate with that. You made videos but didn't get clients from making those videos. Does that connect with anybody? If you're watching in the group, if you're watching live, comment #live. If you're watching the replay, comment #replay. I still want you to comment all these things if you're watching the replay at all. So the first thing when getting started to create content is you need to identify who your ideal client is. So you have your offer. You know now that it's not about your product or service, it's about your transformation. And so who is that number one, who would change the trajectory of your business if you got multiple of these types of clients? So really defining who that ideal client is. Asking yourself, this is a way to kind of think about who that client is. Which one of your clients so far has paid you the most with the least amount of headaches? So if you could get more of those, define some more of those things that define that group of people. So once you know that group of people, you can now, like I mentioned before, where it's about highlighting the pain points to help them overcome with actionable items in your content. You can now tailor the videos that you create specifically to them. So now you're giving your ideal client exactly what they want. The trust is going to be there. Some tips on how to actually come up with some of those ideas is, the first one is Google. So once you know who your ideal client is, you can type in some information about them in Google, and what's going to happen is there's little arrows that are going to come up that usually are like, people are also asking about. And so what you can do is you just expand each one of those, and it'll go on for days. You just expand and close, expand and close, expand and close. And now you've got a topic that you searched in Google and now a bunch of other questions that people are also asking about that specific question. Now you go create content and answer those questions. And now your ideal client has a place to turn to instead of Google for those answers. Same thing with YouTube comments. Find a similar audience of like people that you know your audience is watching on YouTube. Go look at some of the top performing videos. People are going to be commenting, and those creators can't always get to all those comments. So what you do is you create videos that answer those questions in the comments. And now you're kind of hacking that other audience to be able to provide those answers. And then another good one is answerthepublic.com, is a great place that compiles some of the top asked questions about a specific topic, where you can also get great video ideas. So the next part in this whole getting started, when I first started creating videos, I would create one video a day, set up, set down every day, but that just took way too much time. You set up all your lights, you set up all the stuff, you shoot one video, and then you set it all down. That is just extremely time consuming. And who here has been held back from creating more content because you just don't have the time to do it? Drop a 1 in the chat if you've ever just not created content because it's too time consuming. Got a couple here. If you're watching in the group, leave your comments. Have you not created content because you just don't have enough time? Batch, batch, batch. I can't stress it enough. So when you're getting started with creating content, batch, batch, batch. So instead of setting up and setting down every single day, take a day of the week or an hour from the week and use what we did with video ideas. Spend an hour to write down your 30 video ideas, or 15, or start with 5, 10 maybe. Write all down your ideas. Then at another point in time, if you can do it all at once, great. But sometimes I like to at least say, give yourself a time to take a break. Then spend the time on scripting. I have some people who prefer a completely scripted out, word for word, written out what they're going to say. Some people, as long as you write the hook and like some key bullet points and a call to action, write those down for all 10 videos at once. Take the hour and do that. And then take another hour to film it all. Set everything up and film all 10 videos at once. Like maybe you need to change shirts or something. So I can't stress it enough. It's efficient. It's much less time consuming. So batch your content. And when you're doing the script writing process, it's super important to have a quality hook, because in today's world, people have the attention span that is very, very tiny. And we literally only have about 2 to 3 seconds in the very beginning of a video to capture someone's attention. So if you know who your ideal client is, you know the pain and actionable item that you're going to give them to overcome that little piece of information, but we need to grab their attention in the beginning to let them know about this. And some of the best ways to create a hook is with a bold statement, then a qualifying question, or a qualifying question, then a bold statement. So for example, if I was going to create a video about creating better videos, I may say, "You suck at creating videos." Bold statement. Do you want to learn how to create better videos? Qualifying question. Or if I said a qualifying question, are you looking to learn how to create better videos? Question. Then follow these 3 steps. Bold statement. So it's about thinking about your hooks in that manner. So when I first started, I would create videos. I'd use the selfie cam so I could make sure to see myself, that I was lined up. And although these videos were okay, they didn't look as professional or really match that image that I wanted to portray to my dream clients. You're holding your selfie video. The camera isn't as good on the selfie video as the other side of the camera. So who here can relate with that, where the way that they're creating their videos is by using the selfie camera on their video? So I totally did the same exact thing. When filming your content, I highly suggest, this is going to be the best way to set up a little virtual studio. So this is mine right here. It starts with your camera right in the front right here. So I have my camera right here, dead center. If you're using your phone, using the non-selfie camera, it's a much higher quality camera. You can turn on the grid lines and make sure your eyes are in line with the grid. But having lighting is going to instantly improve the quality of your videos, even with a phone. And so having some sort of key light 45 degrees off to the side of your phone so that it lights up your face, having some sort of backlight diagonal from the key light is going to help separate you from the background. And then having some sort of colored lights to kind of flood the background light a little bit is going to help with that separation. You can get all this stuff on Amazon, a few $100s, a little bit of investment, help instantly improve the quality of your videos, as well as an external microphone is going to help with that as well. And now you can start creating content to instantly improve the quality of your image and attract that awareness. So once I did that, I created some videos, but when I first started, I would just post them straight out the camera without adding anything engaging. And I was wondering why I wasn't getting a good response on the videos. So just, even if I had set up a virtual studio and I was using the correct camera, I just would shoot and post. Who else has ever tried to post a video without editing it first? Anybody can relate with that? Well, these are some free editing tools that you can use. Video Leap is a decent one. CapCut is really good, and Filmora. CapCut's probably my favorite. Filmora is number 2, but Video Leap is good as well. But having captions on your videos that are not just stock Instagram captions, if that's all you can do, that's great. Having captions is essential with posting content, because 90% of people start watching a video on mute, and you want to be able to convey your message. And having cuts and keeping people engaged is so important with keeping people to continue to watch your video past your hook. So these are some free editing platforms that you can use. Highly recommended. Once you have that all done, you set your lights up, you've done your batch filming, you've got 10 videos now, posting them. I highly recommend posting directly to the platform instead of using any sort of third-party schedulers. The social media platforms don't like to have other companies in their platforms. Facebook and Instagram do have a scheduler in their native platform. So if you use that scheduler, that doesn't hurt the engagement of the video. But if you use other third-party schedulers, it will limit your reach on your content. So it takes, to post on all Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, takes 15 minutes to create. Again, batch out all your descriptions, batch out your cover images. So if you have it all, you just copy, paste, upload, and then go to the next one. And if you do Facebook, Instagram, you can schedule out on those as well. So that's enough for get started. If you can do all that and keep all that about the value chain and your ideal client in mind, you'll be at a amazing spot to start attracting leads and nurturing clients, and creating your own virtual studio to create content for yourself to let people know about your business. So the final thing that we're going to cover is going to actually how to scale this up. So there's a lot of information that we're going through. Have you ever felt like, this person right here where there's like just so much information to cover, and how am I actually supposed to scale up all these videos and create content for myself? It's all this scripting, filming, editing, posting. That's a lot of stuff to do. So when you're thinking about doing this, it's about building your team. Like if you're going to build a team, it helps staying up to date with all the changing technology and camera gear. Having someone who's involved at the shooting side of things, they'll be the ones to stay in charge of like updating camera gear and things like that. Having someone to help with scripts, that can alleviate that off your plate. You're going to need to find an editor to do all the editing for you. Hiring a specific social media manager to do the posting for you and actually engage with people on the social platform. It's called social media for a reason, because it wants you to be social on it, not just post a video and bounce. And then someone to be the manager of this whole team. So in order to scale this, like I mentioned before, you can start to automate some of this process, is to build your team. And that will allow you to create this value chain and have an automated team that's going to help you script your videos for awareness, then a social media manager to engage with lead generation, then guiding them through into the lead nurturing, and then ultimately you get them in the sales conversation and fulfill and getting the testimonial and everything like that. So that's going to be how you scale up this whole process, is bringing in team members. So if you're a business that has like a front desk person or all these different people, you can bring them in to help grow your team. And so I told you I would give you a bonus today about the #1 pitfall that actually keeps people from getting started initially from this whole process completely, and how to overcome that #1 pitfall. So before I get into this #1 pitfall and this bonus, I appreciate you all so much for joining me on this this afternoon for this live training. I'd love to hear what your biggest takeaway was so far. If you're watching on the replay in the Facebook group, go ahead, please comment your biggest takeaway from all this training so far. What are you going to put your most focus on after today? What really stood out as far as like the biggest thing that you need to learn from today's training? I'd love for you, even if you're watching the replay, go ahead and comment that. I would really appreciate it, because your experience is going to help the next person. It's your way to pay it forward and help the next person who's maybe in a similar position as you, where you didn't know about this piece of information, and we came on together to sharpen our skills, and you took this single piece of information away that you're going to focus on, that's going to be that trigger that helps you attract clients for the next 90 days. So appreciate the comments. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and comment in the Facebook group as well. I'd love to hear all your comments as you're going through and watching this. Leave a comment in the sending of the message. And as a thank you for your experience to help the next person, I've got something special for you as well. But before we get into that, the #1 way to overcome that #1 pitfall and how to overcome that, the #1 thing that keeps people from getting started is imposter syndrome. How do you overcome imposter syndrome? Why should I be posting videos? Why should someone even listen to what I have to say about this offer that I have and how I help my clients? Why would someone even listen to me? So that's the number one pitfall that I see time and time again of people that prevents them from getting started is that imposter syndrome. And I know for myself, I've experienced it completely. Before I started posting videos, I was a little newer to running my own business, and I didn't think that people were going to want to listen to me. And so it held me back a little bit. But the thing is I realized that I was a little further along than some people. And so I just started posting. If you just start posting content from the first time, yes, it may be a little off, but if you take the next video and you get a little bit better, and then the next one a little bit better, and then the next one a little bit more better, then by the time you've posted 50 videos, you're going to be way further along than you ever thought was possible than on your first video. And because of that, because you've all commented your key takeaways, all you watching the replay, you've commented your takeaways as a way of saying thank you for paying it forward to the next person, and to help anybody watching who may have that imposter syndrome, that may have that imposter syndrome. I want to leave you with a free gift that's going to help you create those first 50 videos, because you won't even have to think of it. So if you go to my Instagram page at Valued Productions, you can DM me the word hooks, and I'll send you, and make sure you follow. I believe you have to follow me first. Go ahead and DM me the word hooks, and I'll send you our free list of top performing hooks, which ultimately they're fill in the blank. So it is going to alleviate that thought process of what am I even going to create videos about? So you'll be able to create 50 videos without even thinking about it. And by the time you're done that 50th video, you're going to be so much further along and wonder, why didn't I start this from before? So go ahead, check out my Instagram and DM me the word hooks, and we'll send you that list of 50 hooks.